Hello, everyone. To my viewers all around the globe, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to our Fireside chat on AI for everyone. Why non-tech roles need AI certifications too. My name is Rohini. I head events at AI CERTs, and I'm excited to host the session with our esteemed speaker, one and only Chintan D. Chintan is an expert in blockchain and artificial intelligence with extensive experience helping non-tech professionals leveraging AI in their roles. Let's dive right in. Chintan, over to you. Kindly introduce yourself, please.
Hey, hello everyone. Thank you so much for this time on the Saturday, and we make sure that you're going to get a lot out of this session. So my name is Chintan Dave. I've authored around 20 books in the blockchain and other technologies. I've trained more than 50,000 individuals, starting from students to CEOs, and my goal of this session would be to make sure that you understand about why the certifications are important, what is exactly the myth behind the AI, and how we can, uncover the lot of misconceptions that we have it around the AI, and how it literally helps the each and every role out there. Uh, yep, looking forward.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Just a small request to all the viewers out there. If in case you have any questions, please feel free to put it up in the chat box. We shall definitely answer as many questions as possible at the end of the session. The mics would be off throughout. So, Chintan, are you ready? I'm gonna like really shoot a lot of questions to you today.
Awesome. Looking forward. Let's start.
Perfect. So the first part is about understanding AI. So Chintan, could you start by explaining what AI is in simple terms for our non-tech audience?
Absolutely. So everybody is talking about that AI is a tech term. But if you see, we've been using an AI since very long, right? It has been become very popular now, right? So AI is technically or in a simplest term, AI is something which try a software which tries to mimic the human behavior. So there are a lot of things which a human can do. If we need to automate those things, and AI is the right tool which basically helps automate the mundane task and makes it easy for us. So in a simplest or a layman term, we can say AI is nothing but a kind of a software or a program which is going to enhance your capability and going to work as a assistant for you.
Excellent. Let's go to the next question. What are some common misconceptions non-tech professionals have about AI?
Absolutely. So when you talk about the AI, everybody thinks that AI is for the technology people, it's for the developer, engineers, and everyone who is writing the code. The AI is for them. Technically, or in a layman term, if you want to understand, AI is just like a tractor a farmer is going to use. So imagine if you are a farmer and you are going to use the tractor, you're not going to need to know the technicalities of how the engine is built, what's the horsepower is, right? You're going to drive the tractor, right? So the common misconception behind the AIs we see nowadays is it's for the techies and it's not for the other roles. But yeah, to enhance the capability of individual each and every role, AI is supporting and helping each and every role out there. So the myth has to be, rather than thinking of it as a programmatically side of programming side of it or technical side of it, we should look at as the end user, how we can consume the tools, how we can use the tools to enhance our capabilities, irrespective of any job roles you are into.
Excellent. So the next question is, how is AI different from traditional software and automation?
Yeah. So when you talk about the traditional software, they are scripted to do the stuff which has a logical conditioning, but it does not requires or it does not add value. When you talk about an AI, what you are doing is you are giving an AI tool a large amount of information, so it will try and be more creative than it should be. So imagine. Let's say you are imagine there is a hundreds of PhD individual on a specific domain helping you solve the problem, right? A traditional software can work on the limitation of the particular program which has been built for. Whereas an AI, it has an enormous amount of information. If you're giving them a lot of knowledge base, it's going to, even if you're asking a normal question again and again, it's going to enhance its capability through the knowledge base it has been given. So traditional softwares are basically doing the logic based operation, whereas the AI is doing going beyond and above, and it is using the knowledge base to enhance your skill set. For example, let's say you're talking about the language translation. So if you talk about the language translation in the Google Translate, it does uses the AI as well as, but if you're going to do a normal language translation, it does not give you the accuracy which the Google translation or any other enhanced tool which is using AI in the backend can do. So it is more capable than what the traditional softwares are capable of doing.
Yeah, I mean, I quite agree. I think we're just in that phase of evolving from where we were to a better place, I'm sure. So with that note, Chintan, let's move towards like real world application questions, right? So the next question would be like, can you share some real world examples of AI application in non-tech fields like marketing or HR? Like, I mean,
Absolutely. So, like we
yeah,
have started the discussion, Rohini, about how the AI is going to help each and every role. Imagine you are a marketing individual to start with, right? There are a
yeah.
lot of tasks you're supposed to do on your job role, right? The first of all, you would need to enhance your capability by knowing a lot of information, right? So what you can do, there are a lot of AI tools, including we're learning about a lot of large language models, ChatGPT, Copilot, Poe, Grok, right? What you can do is you can literally enhance your capability thinking them as your assistant and having the specialized knowledge on a specific domain. So how, let's say, for example, you're supposed to write 100 blogs in 1 hour, right? Humanly, it is not possible. If you're using such tools, it's not only going to give you those text created, but then you can tweak it. Let's say you want to write down the multiple job post, right? If you're supposed to write down the multiple social media post or a job post, right? If you're giving a tool as a marketing individual to information to an AI, it is going to do it for you. Let's say you want to plan your entire social media calendar, right? You want to plan your entire marketing plan. You want to plan the strategies behind your marketing. You want to test out the grammatical and punctuation errors in your code. You have a lot of different business plans. You have it with you. You can fit to the AI tool and you can ask and play with it and get the strategy out of it. So as a marketing individual, technically it is going to give you a lot of help. So let's say you're explaining your graphics designer something that I need this kind of a visualization, right? AI can make it easy for you even though you're not an expert graphics designer. Let's say if you talk about the HR and kind of other human resource or a recruitment role, right? Imagine in AI CERTs, we are getting more than like 200 plus applications almost every day, right? Now it is humanly, it is not possible. So we have ourselves a lot of bots we have created and we call it AI Labs 365. So those bots are doing what? They are processing all the applications and scrutinizing the layer one applications for us. So the manual evaluations of the application is being removed, right? Imagine as an HR, you need to write down a lot of repetitive emails or you want to do a lot of operational activities on a day-to-day basis. Everything starting from application tracking to an every HR processes, you can use an AI tool, right? Not only the marketing or an HR, even if you're a customer experience executive, you are a salesperson, the similar things applies to each and every role. Imagine you are a legal individual, right? And you want to read down a lot of case studies for the case you're working on, right? I mean, let's say you want to work on a case where you have 500 different cases already been referenced for. how you do it. You can feed all this information to an AI tool, and then you can start a normal human conversation. So technically, each and every role, AI is enhancing their capability, right? So it's not going to take anyone jobs, but technically it's going to empower us.
Yeah, I think it's like having your best friend next to you to do your role, and you have a lot of time left to focus on something that is creative. And yeah, amazing. So the next question is about how is AI transforming the finance industry, particularly for non-tech roles?
Absolutely. So when you talk about the finance, there are a lot of nuances we need to take care, right? For example, let's say if you are in India, right? There are so when you are in India, I give you an example, right? When you're writing or filing your income tax return, right? You would need to spare a one day if you're not going through any professional, right? There are a lot of calculation you're supposed to do, right? Imagine no, these kind of a financial evaluations and calculation can be done in a fraction of a second, right? You put all your income information, your expenses, your receipts, everything, and the AI is going to calculate everything for you in the blink of an eye, right? Imagine you are as an individual financial auditor, right? You want to audit the financial statements of a particular company. Right now, what we are doing is we pull out the Excel sheet. You want to go manually do the checks and balances, right? Technically, it is going to take so much of time. If you're using an AI tools, there are many tools you can use, right? You can upload all your Excel sheets, all your knowledge statement, all your bank statements, all your financial statement, and you can ask AI tool to do so. You can just use your human natural language conversation, and then the AI tool is going to do for you. So there are a lot of mundane tasks in the day-to-day process, like invoicing auditing, bank statement auditing, auditing the financial statement, making your team ready for the payroll, or doing this normal calculations of the financials and statistics, like doing a P&L, etc. Right? Everything can be automated for the financial individual using an normal AI, free of the cost AI tools as well. Yeah,
Wonderful piece of information, Chintan. The next question is, what are some innovative uses of AI in customer service?
absolutely. So customer service is the one of the most talked role about when we start about an
Yeah,
AI discussion, right?
true.
Because you cannot have your human agents available 24 cross 7 to scale your customer service, right? And even though let's say you're a
Right.
company, you're able to afford it, it's technically not possible to scale it. So how it's going to help is, so it is going to enhance the customer experience CS executive's role by giving them a predefined scenarios. So while let's say I'm on the call with you, right? How AI is going to help you is, while we are on the call, what we are discussing, it is going to create the knowledge base parallelly, and it's going to pull out the answer for me. So not only providing the 24 cross 7 support, but also enhancing the current customer service representatives capabilities as well, right? Imagine you are deploying a chatbot on your website, which takes all the information from your website, your product. It's going to make a life a lot of easier for your customer as well, and you're only transiting the critical question to your human agents, right? So you're enhancing your capability of the human agents. They can invest more time in the critical questions, as well as you are making the entire process productive as well. Even for the, let's say, a supervisor of the customer representative, or even the product team as well. With this lot of information, they can have a detailed analytics where they can drill down and see an actual problem which is happening behind the scenes for the customer support, and they can pin it point and they can work on it. So customer service industry and CS industry is going to get highly impacted in a positive way with these AI tools out there.
Yeah, I think this brings me a thought that the only way, we know now what all AI can do, but how it can be done is probably through upgrading each and every person in the workforce. You have to upskill and upgrade yourself. Do you agree with me?
100%. So if you see right now, and coming back to this point, you need to upgrade and enhance your skills, but in a most
Yeah,
systematic way. Imagine,
right.
right? You're having a plethora of information. A lot of you Google something about AI course, you'll get like 2
Yeah,
lakhs courses. Oh, what I'm saying there,
okay.
right? How I'm going to
Yeah,
learn from it. So imagine you need to learn, you need to enhance your skills, irrespective of any role you are into, but you would do it systematic, right? If you're doing it
right, right.
structured way, then it becomes very easy for you to learn those skills, get your skill assess as well, and then you apply those skills on your job role as well. So it's not only about the learning, but the systematic learning of the AI is going to help everyone. Imagine you're going to see a
Yeah,
courses which are like 6 months courses, 2 years courses.
right.
Imagine do you have a time right now and you're going to invest 2 years to learn an AI? No, you don't need to technically, right? What people are doing it is they are learning an AI in a very different and unappropriate way. Imagine I am a finance expert, for example, or I'm a
Mhm.
marketing expert. I would like to enhance my domain knowledge rather than I would start learning about the programming. All the courses
Of course.
you see out there, they start with the programming, you learn the Python, and then you become a very basic engineer which you don't want to become, right? And then you're learning
Yeah,
or investing time something which is you're not required to do, right? So as a non-technical professional, rather you focus yourself into the domain knowledge, enhancing your domain knowledge, and then you use these tools in a very systematic way along with the regulations and ethical considerations. So let's say you don't need to know the technicality part of it, but imagine, let's say Rohini is heading her event department. She has to select a lot of tools. If she is knowing about the tools and AI tools, then she'll be able to make the right decisions. That what tools should I need to go for? Are they right tools? Are they having proper ethical regulations followed for the particular geography? Right. So it's the systematic learning of an AI is an extremely important piece rather than going in a haywire manner to learn about the AI. Yeah,
With that note, let me ask you some questions about importance of AI certifications then. Imagine I'd like to get certified in AI, then I need to know the importance of it. So, why should non-tech professionals like someone like me considering getting AI certifications in the first place?
absolutely. So while you're asking this question, I would like to start and make our audience aware about the difference between a certificate and certification. So there is a huge myth, right? And I tell you, in India or even across the globe, right, there are statistics that says that a lot of learners are fake learners. They are just taking the course or someone else is taking the course behalf of them. They just want to acquire a badge to just show it as a social proof or maybe to enhance their skill, right? Now, coming back to the question, like a certificate versus the certification. A certificate is something which you get while you are learning something, and it gives the notification that you have done your learning and you're done with your learning process. Whereas a certification is you learn the track and then you are sitting into a legitimate evaluation process or an assessment process of your skills. That means what? Whatever you have learned, are you really knowing what you have learned or not, right? So going through the proper examination process through a human evaluation or a combination of human and proctored evaluation is what the certification is legitimacy provider for, right? So you're going through the learning as well as you're going through a proper assessment, and then you can say you're having that license to say yourself, and then AI plus marketing, AI plus sales, AI plus engineer, AI plus developer, and etc. So
Yeah,
certification is going to give you more credibility. Even though you are a non-tech role, the
yeah,
reason
yeah,
being you are getting assessed well for the skills you are telling that I'm knowing those skills, right? You're not faking
Yeah,
out of
yeah.
your profile. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure. I think it would be coming from the space of pride and genuineness when you earn a certification, which is, uh, yeah, I get what you're saying. So that pops up another question for me is what are the next, what are the key benefits of AI certification for a career growth?
absolutely. So every individual organization is right now enhancing their workforce for getting them ready for the next years of working professionals skills and the processes they would onboard for, right? Every organization wants to enhance their workforce, or every individual wants to enhance their workforce as well, right? So why they would go for a certification is then it gives them a clearer pathway that whatever they are supposed to learn on the role, it is getting evaluated, and then it makes it easy for a company to identify that this individual is having the skills that they say for, right? So the certification will give them a advantage in the competitive market right now, that you are owing the skills which you say you are owing the skills, rather than you need to prove yourself. So certification will give you an advantage, plus it will give you an confidence as well, because you are knowing and you're getting you got yourself assessed to say who you are to be.
Got it. I think that's quite informative. In that case, can you recommend some reputed AI certification programs for non-tech professionals in that case?
Absolutely. So when you talk about the AI cert, so we have a very wonderful, ambitious goal to to certify 1 million individual. So imagine 8 out of the one individual we are going to certify them through an AI and blockchain certifications. So we have thought through the thorough process. We have more than 30 plus different in role based certification, starting from an AI plus everyone to AI plus quantum. People even not talking about the quantum, we have the certification called AI plus quantum. So imagine you are an executive, you are a sales personnel, you are a marketing personnel, you are a legal personnel, you are L&D individual, you are into a recruitment, you are into an HR, you are into a legal finance, you name the role, we have the certification pathway for it. But it is always a great start to start with our certification, which team can share an information after this session, which is AI plus everyone. It is going to give you the benefit that how you should learn. And every role we're recommending they should go for at least three of the certifications to start with, along with the core certifications. They should go for AI plus everyone. Then they can go for AI plus executive because it gives them a business acumen. They should go for ethics. And then all these tools which we are talking about, they are talking through engineering process or a systematic way to talk to this tool, which is called a prompt engineering. So we recommend they go for a prompt engineering and they go for a domain related certification, right? But the always the good start would be to start with the AI plus everyone.
That's great. So how can a non-tech professional start integrating AI into their daily tasks?
Absolutely. So knowing is very important while you're integrating something, right? So if, like I mentioned earlier as well, right? There are a lot of misconception around the AI, and people are kind of ignoring the AI because they don't have time maybe, right? So if you want to integrate an AI in your life scale, right? Imagine or your profile, we have a professional certifications which is like 8 hours of certification. All our certifications, professional certification, are 8 hours professional certification, whether you are going for a self-paced or whether you are going for through our partners, which have more than 80 plus partners. You can go through a instructor led session as well, and then you can sit in the examination and then you can get yourself assessed. So irrespective of the way you want to choose your learning path towards, right, The best way to go for it is to start investing 30 minutes a day on a systematic way of how this AI is going to utilize.
Got that. Okay, so can you share a case study where AI has a significant impact on non-tech role?
Absolutely. So, there are a lot of examples we can discuss about, right? I tell you, I'll give you a very simple example. You talk about the teachers, right? Teachers are investing a lot of their time. Educators, trainers, teachers are investing a lot of their time into a mundane task of evaluation of assignment or planning the course plan or making the preparation of the course plan. It's a lot of work, I tell you. So I myself as a trainer, if you are going to give a session for a 1 hour, you need to prepare for at least for 3 to 4 hours. You are able to add a value. So there is a lot of back end work which each role needs to do, right? With an AI, it is making significantly easy, right? So if you talk about the case study, right, you can pull out the chat GPT or you can pull out the Copilot. You ask the question you want the team to go through, right? And that's how it's going to uh, operate. I
That's
think
great.
that there was
There
okay.
was,
You back.
yeah,
No
yeah, all
worries.
right. Yeah. So, well, let's talk about overcoming challenges with regard to AI, right? So, what are the biggest challenges non-tech professionals face when learning about AI today?
Absolutely. So the biggest challenge is the misconception about how to go for it, right? I don't
Yeah,
want you to learn the Python. Don't worry about
yeah,
what programming the AI is built on. I don't want you to learn the R, right? I don't want you to learn
yeah,
the syntaxes. You need to learn the user side of it, right? So let's say
right.
you as an individual, how you should learn is that how effectively I can interact with the tool or how effectively I can select a tool, right? So there are a lot of tools out there. Me as an individual, I would need to learn how to select the tools and how to effectively utilize that tool rather than worrying about the technicality part of it. So that's the best way to go for it.
Yeah, I think you're right. Most of the non-tech folks out there would have that fear, right? We somehow have a psychological bias, like we connect AI to tech, and then we would have that fear. Oh my God, the certification is going to be all about very technical, and how am I going to like manage this? But then your answer is so realistic because if at all I can learn how AI can, how I can use AI in my role, it can be an advantage for the career growth. Well, with that note, how do you think organizations support their non-tech employees to learning the usage of AI in today's
Absolutely.
industries?
So
Yeah,
we have been getting a lot of requests on almost every organization who are going through their every different department. So how do they start is they always starts with the baseline. They always starts with
yeah,
an AI plus everyone and AI plus executive, right? Once they go through it, they have an enough information of a decisive scenarios they can work on the AI. Then they go for a domain specific role. So they go for a sales role, they go for a marketing role, they go for a developer roles. So all the requests that we are getting are mainly the requests basically in regards with the uh, how they can integrate the overall workflow, right? So we have a clear lay down plan in our AI roadmaps as well that how you should start. You should start with AI plus everyone. You go for AI plus ethics or prompt engineer, and then you go deep dive into a particular role. And organization are taking it so seamlessly, and then they put the right teams to learn the right skills so that they can enhance their capability. And like I said, our all the professional techs are roles are like 8 hours of certification, 1 day, 2 day class, you can say, and the tech ones are the 5 day class because this has a lot of depth in it. So if you talk about the developer, data engineer, cloud solution architect, AI plus quantum, etc., we have a more than 40 hours of a tracks.
Chintan, with that note, I have specific questions here, right? What are the industries or organization when you say, is it just the IT companies coming with queries, or do you think even healthcare? What are the industries today are, adapting AI in their workforce?
Absolutely. So every industry, I tell you, if you are, let's say, a two-person company, a consulting company, to an
Yeah,
organization which having 10,000 employees, right? Each and every company, not even the companies, I would say, the educational organizations, the government bodies, the legal bodies, lot of
wow.
association itself, right? So let's say you talk about the legal association, bar council in
Yeah,
India, right? We have been working with them. You talk about the tech associations, right? You talk about the retail organizations, they have more than 15,000 plus individuals, and each of their job role, depending on their job role, they want to have a structured rollout plan for their employees. So technically, each and every industry is embracing this role change because they know it is enhancing their entire workforce capability and they want to do it systematically, right? You can always open a
right.
Google or YouTube and pick the course, but then that's not going to give you the structured way of an execution. So they're trying to make sure that it integrates to the process that they are into. So all the certifications that we have it are modularized in a such a way that there is a connection between what you do and how it is going to seamlessly integrate to your role. So it's not a generic execution of your entire learning, but going so
Yeah,
systematic, and then you are getting part of a community where you're meeting to the roles kind of people that you are into the same role. So you'll be able to meet to the community of AI plus marketing. So you're
yeah.
collaborating, you're discussing, and then we are changing this content almost every 3 months. So they're super updated content even though you're part of you've been certified, you keep on getting the contents related update throughout your entire year, right? So even though let's say there are a lot of tools coming up, there are a lot of new processes, there are a lot of new statistics, a lot of new strategies. We are
Yeah.
making sure that the learners are up to date.
Amazing. So basically, each and every person, irrespective of whatever industry they are coming from, can benefit with AI certification and especially AI CERTs certification. So with
Absolutely.
that note, if you can explain the accreditation and the value AI certification has in the industry, that can definitely benefit the viewers today. They will know how premium this product is.
Absolutely. So we are following the certification process, which is very prescribed. So we are following a process where we have 170242012, which is called an ISO personal certification bodies processes. We're getting thoroughly audited to follow the process. The reason being we want to follow this process is that we want to make sure that there is a transparency in the entire process that we do. So starting from creating a blueprint of a certification, each level we have an experts involved. We have a huge team of advisors for a particular certification. We have a huge team of PhDs. We have a huge team of industry experts. They are following this thorough process, evaluating the job task analysis. They are crafting the curriculum, which has been peer reviewed by the lot of people in the same group, and then the process goes to the detailed curriculum, and then they build the entire coursewares around it and examination, etc. And it has been followed and made sure in a such a way that it's been fully transparent to the learners, but it adds a lot of values as well. So the certifications that we have are globally recognized. The reason being the teams that we have it, the process that we follow, and the transparency that we bring along with the lifelong learning attitude of the AI certs.
Brilliant. I think there is the day is not too far where I can visualize so many individuals to be AI certified and adding more value to the world and to them to their own career growth. So with that, I would want to have few questions regarding future of AI. So the first question in that category would be, what future trends in AI should non-tech professionals keep an eye on?
Uh, can you repeat the question? Sorry, I lost you for a second.
Sure, surely, no problem, Chintan. So I just wanted to know what future trends in AI should non-tech professionals keep an eye on?
Okay, wonderful, wonderful question. So no, so if you are a technical professional, but as we are talking about the non-tech
Yeah,
this entire session, what you should focus on is learning on a proper route of an effective follow the most prominent channels related which you can follow, industry expert talks that you can follow, right? So what we can do is after this session, we can curate the right amount of trends and uh, processes for our audience, and we can share it with them on the same comment channels that we have it. But the most important trend is they need to understand is to upskill their self. Even though you are on any individual role, upskilling yourself with an AI knowledge is an extremely important trend right now, right? So there are a lot of plethora of tools, a lot of plethora of courses, but rightly going and learning about what they need to get it done on their job role, getting there, like giving them and support to their entire work that they are doing. So let's say you are imagine you're having a personal assistant with you along with you, right? Which is going to do the task for you and you're focusing your creative part. So that's the trend
exactly.
everybody is looking at, that you are having a help, right? And then you're focusing on something which is highly creative and critical, which only a human can do and not an AI.
Exactly. What a wonderful response it was. Apologies to the viewers that there was a small lag and internet glitch while he was talking, but do not worry. We are going to record and, share the responses in a documented format after the session. So let's move to the next question here. How do you see the role of AI evolving in non-tech fields over the next 5 to 10 years? I repeat, Chintan, how do you see
Amazing.
the role of AI evolving in non-tech fields over the next 5 to 10 years?
So this is a very, so I have been doing many talks, and Rohini, this question people ask me that where do you see the AI going in the 5 years? I tell you, it's not about 5 years. It's about next 5 days, next 5 months, right? Everything is changing super fast, right? That you need to learn a lot of things and tools and the processes. It's going to drastically change. So I tell you, not in the 5 years or 10 years, I would say it's a matter of 5 months or like a 1 year max where everything that we do on our job role is going to drastically change. So it's the right time for us to get started. It's not so tough. It's just to go so systematic and with the right provider so that you will learn what you need to learn, and then you're making most out of it on your job role as well.
Thank you. I think it was a brilliant explanation. Well, let me just quickly hop on to a question that we have from one of our viewers. I find this a cute question. So, she's a she's a teacher apparently, and she says, "I work with AI with my students as an educational tool. Most teachers are afraid of AI because they are scared students will only copy information. How can I help my peers understand AI is not the enemy?" This is such a wonderful question.
Absolutely. And this is where there is a huge understanding we would need to integrate. As an educator, we need to understand that this is going to enhance the overall skills of the students as well as the teachers as well, right? So if the learners are knowing, or the students are knowing the tools rightly, and even the teachers are knowing the tools rightly, they'll be able to make the right decision, right? So it's never an enemy, but the way we take the overall learning and execution process supposed to be changed. Now let's say you cannot give them an essay to write about something which like you pull the chat gpt is going to give it to you in a fraction of a seconds, right? Rather than your evaluation methodology of learning will change into the pedagogy, right? Or you will going to assess into the domain and critical aspect of their learning process, rather than you are going for a something which is a very generic approach to take a learning process ahead. So it is going to challenge the learner as it is going to challenge the educators and the trainers as well, because both the side of it has to enhance their skills. And seeing the current education system, we have a huge opportunity, right? You're learning a lot of subjects which are very outdated, or sometimes you never know you're going to utilize them or not, right? So that's where AI is going to help them give the confidence, irrespective of, let's say, you are a teacher or you are a student. So it's a both side of mixed balance, right? If the teacher knows the students are using an AI, they're able to going to make the right decision, and the vice versa.
Yeah, I think the key is more and more teachers and universities certifying themselves in AI plus educator, maybe.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So the next question would be, how can non-tech professionals demonstrate the value of AI for their organizations?
Perfect. So the value of AI is extremely important because they are saving a lot of operational hours, right? Imagine you're giving an individual a task which is a mundane task, is taking the entire day from their job, right? They're able to do it in a few hours, right? And they're investing something which is in more productive or a skillful task or a project. It's going to enhance a lot of productivity, right? So you're getting yourself free to do the lot of creative thing on your job role if you're using an AI, right? So you're not working
Right.
about, imagine you're getting an email which is not well perfectly written email. You don't know what's written. You need to read it twice, thrice, and you're like pulling your hairs what's written in the
Yeah.
mail. You use a tool, it's going to simplify like a child for you, and then you draft a
Yeah.
response in a way so where you're not worried about grammatical mistake, you're not worrying about
Right.
structuring of it. So I'm just giving a simple example. Imagine a project managers, right? They need to do the workforce and management of the entire project task and everything that is given, right? A lot of manual time goes into checks and balances, right? So it's going to add a lot of value if they're going to use these tools. Is going to keep up the stress out of their entire process and give a creative approach to them. Rather, they can invest time in talking about more about the criticality of the project rather than the task management and evaluation of those kind of.
Yeah, excellent. I think it is so true. The next question we have from the audience is, what is the best way for non-tech professionals to stay updated on AI developments?
Absolutely. So it's always I mean, where you start is very important, right? So you need to understand that what you want to achieve from this entire plethora of knowledge is going to given to you, right? So technically, you don't need to know a lot. You would need to know only how of it, right? So if you're knowing how of it, you'll be able to easily enhance your skill set. So let's say you talk about the role where you are enhancing your skills through the prompt engineering, right? So you literally don't need to know so much of technicalities of how to write those prompts for bots to give you the response, right? You actually learn the proper structure the way we are learning any language, right? So like a kid learns a language by observing the same way the AI operates, right? It observes, you're asking a right question. So asking the right question and learning about it is extremely important rather than going into a monotonous reading process and then you are not able to apply it. It's always a practical and theory based mixed approach where you're learning the concept so you get a confidence and then you're applying through this tool is going to be very important.
Perfect. Thank you so much for a brief explanation to a question like that. With lieu of time, I think we can take two more questions for today and we can probably come back with another webinar shortly. And the next question for you is, what are some practical ways to apply AI in everyday business operations for non-tech roles?
Absolutely. So when you're talking about the practical ways, we would say, you always try out with the right tools, right? You understand how these tools are going to help you. Are those tools are following the ethical processes? Because you cannot upload anything of your organizational information directly to your tools, right? So to make sure that you're using the right tools, you're using the right processes, you would need to know the tools you're using. Are they enterprise ready tools? Are they not taking your personal information? Are they compliant or not? So selecting the right tools is the right way to go for it. And then, going deep dive into the process, into the evaluating, because they're super easy nowadays. Imagine the softwares that we're using right now are going to become a one single text box, right? Everything is changing. You can do everything with a one single window rather than you're clicking on tens of different things and everything. It's going to change the way we operate as a consumer as well, right? No one wants to talk to a support person. No one wants to talk to a the right they want to text it, right? They text and they get the answer. People are getting done everything to the text, to the bots that they are working with, right? Even if you're booking your airlines, you're booking your bus tickets, railway tickets, to you're buying something online, to getting yourself refunded through the processes, yes, the bots are everywhere if they've been utilized and configured and used properly.
Excellent. I think it's just we are evolving to a whole new different world for better. I think we have a $1 million question to end today's session. It says, can AI replace non-tech roles, or will it primarily, augment them?
Wonderful
I
question. And
yeah.
yeah, so
Sorry, go
this is
ahead.
a
Yeah,
very so this is the question which we all need to understand.
yeah.
And this is very important aspect of what we do right now. So let's say AI is never going to replace us, but the person who knows the AI is going to enhance their skills and going to be more productive than the person who is not using. It's like, let's say, you're still using horse in the era of cars, right? It's technically not possible. You cannot maintain the horse, right? So it's about enhancing your skills and knowing the right tools to, take you to the next level rather than worrying about it or thinking in a negative way, right? So it's never going to replace a human. It's never going to replace the jobs. It's going to enhance the new roles, new jobs, and new opportunities for all of us to take this entire era of human to the next level where we are investing in something which is more creative rather than the mundane.
I'm sure. I think for all people who are today having this thought in their mind, I could only say, please log into AI CERTs website, upgrade yourself with a role-based certification so that they're no longer having that fear or a thought. Um, well, I think with that note, we've come to an end of this session today. And thank you, Chintan, for your insightful answers and for sharing your expertise with us today. And thank you to all the audience for your participation and engaging questions as well. We hope you found this fireside chat valuable. Before we wrap up, I'd like to remind everybody about our upcoming events and webinar, which can be found on our website. We'll also send a follow-up email with a link to the recording of today's session, the presentation slides, and additional resources related to AI certifications. Please take a moment to fill out the post-webinar survey that will appear as you exit the webinar. Your feedback is incredibly valuable to us. Thank you once again and have a great day. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Chintan, for your time.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Rohini. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Bye.